We've lived in Europe in several different states, but our heart was always to get back in the country.
I'm Larry Downs.
And I'm LaWayne Downs.
We started a journey a few years ago building a homestead.
We always have grown up around the woods and right in the middle of the Ozark forest. His town probably had the population of 100 and my town had the population of 96.
My dad was a pastor in that area, and also because it's a small community, he was a part-time logger. I mean, I got to spend a lot of weeks in the logwoods with him and my uncle. So I just fell in love with the woods.
He had started working at a little restaurant that was in the town, and I used to bring my little brother in there, and I was 16 and he was 17, and we just got married.
Been married, 50 years now, huh?
Yep.
50 years. So I chose to join the military. I spent 26 years in the Air Force. Loved it. Had a great time in the military.
I worked 17 years for the Air Force, and we've traveled the world. It was fabulous.
We loved it.
And we would do it again in a heartbeat. But it's good to be what we would call home.
My son called me one day and said, "Dad, would you be interested in moving out in the country?" At that point, we had already decided that we were going to live in our previous home, which was a big 2-story home, and that was where we were going to stay. And then out of the blue, he called and said, "Dad, would you be interested?"
At first, you were like, "I don't know," which I was surprised, but I was all ready to go.
I thought, I want to get back to my first love, which is in the woods. We were blessed to be able to move onto a 50-acre property with my children.
They live on this 50-acre property with us.
Yeah.
But I would have never dreamed that we'd have our kids this close because, we were used to traveling wherever they were to go visit them. And if they were within 5 hours, we counted that as fine. And now they're within 5 seconds almost.
So we had to start out by cutting a lot of trees, putting new roads in, having a well put in. I mean, it was almost like walking in a jungle there for a while.
It was a mess, but we started developing it, and I think within a year we had our house built here.
Yeah.
And
it was during COVID too.
Yes, it was. Yeah, which was an experience. There wasn't an access for vehicles. We used to walk through a couple of fields and knee-high brush and stuff just to get to the land that we had bought.
We contacted a forester and arranged to have a forester come out and look at the 50 acres. And he kind of went through and tagged trees that he felt like was overcrowding that needed to be harvested. So that in itself brought down a lot of trees. Knowing that I love woodworking, I love working with a sawmill. I wanted a small portable sawmill that I could move around on the 50 acres. So I had settled on the HM 126. I didn't want to have a mill that would be kind of hard to start, but I have been so pleased. That engine will normally start the first or second pull every time.
It's never failed us, ever. We had made our way up to Niagara Falls.
I wanted to pick up a sharpener for my mill.
I insisted that we going up there. When we walked into the showroom, what we had experienced with the customer service on the phone was absolutely what they showed us in that showroom.
When we arrived, we were walking in the door and Neil opened the door for us and said hello. I saw Josh and we was able to sit and talk with him. Neil was awesome. Josh was awesome. Just the entire team there. It was so neat to be able to go up there and see the dream that Josh and Neil had for what a sawmill should be like, and all the other equipment that they have started adding, the wood chippers and so forth, and the sharpeners, and just the different things that they make available to us homeowners that need something that we don't need to go commercial, but we need a nice quality mill. Their team there, their support is second to none. And I can say that with firsthand experience now with the different equipment that we have purchased and operated. since then, we cut a lot of the firewood. We used the wood chipper to chip up quite a bit of brush. We milled up a lot of the lumber. There's almost an endless supply. And I also have a neighbor that lives a few miles away. He has logs available for me if I ever need them, but so far I haven't needed any more.
Yeah.
For some people, they play online games or so forth to be able to relax. They go hunting, they go fishing. I enjoy that kind of stuff. But when I really want to relax, I can go down to my sawmill, put a log on there, and just get the sawdust glitter on me, and the meal is so relaxing for me. It really is. One of the first projects that I actually done, I had the opportunity to build my niece a chest of drawers out of walnut. That was for a graduation present. That was one of the first projects that I'd done that actually meant something. I like to build stuff that has a sentimental value. For the 3 homes that we built out here on the homestead, each of our homes has a special mantle that was milled from the property that will be around for years to come.
Yeah.
Those mantles were fun to make.
Yeah. But we've got a lot of projects that he has done that, well, really a necessity here. The bacon shack, the tool shed, he milled all the wood from this property.
It's funny because my daughter, she would come over and look at it, and because it was built out of the red cedar, it looked like slabs of bacon.
Mm-hmm.
And she nicknamed it the bacon shack. So we still call it the bacon shack, even though it has nothing to do with bacon.
And he built an incredible sawmill shed, and he milled all of that, a beautiful chicken coop. None of that has cost us anything. Those are things that we had to have, here. And whether he's milling oak, walnut, locust, elm, the cedar, the sawmill has never let him down. It just cuts through it like butter.
I wanted to kind of document what we were doing out here on the homestead and the building process, just clearing the land. So I started the YouTube channel just so that our grandkids would have the opportunity to see what it was like. So we started down that journey, and then our family down in Arkansas wanted to see what was going on. So I would send them a link to the video, and then some of our co-workers from the past wanted to see what was going on, so I would send them a link to our channel. So the channel just started growing, but we're not a big channel, but we're a fun channel.
I think we had always decided we wanted chickens. I don't remember what it was that possessed us to go out and get them the day we did, but we did. And I've loved it ever since. We are able to provide fresh eggs to all of our family, a lot of our church family. And, here a few months ago when eggs were so expensive, that gave me a lot of joy. Once
things stabilize a little bit more on the homestead, so we're not so busy, we want to be able to definitely add, maybe some cattle.
We've always talked about getting maybe a few goats and some miniature donkeys, a couple of pigs for harvest, and I think we'll do that pretty soon. We are going to put in a huge garden next year and do a lot of canning. I like to have those fresh vegetables in the winter. We've started planting fruit trees, and we know that can be a 3 to 5 year before you see the harvest from that. I grew up, we had like a plum orchard on our property, and we would go out and play all day long, and then just we'd go to the garden, find something to eat, and go to the orchard and have our dessert. We want this to be home for our kids, for our friends, our family. So we are going to build a pavilion in our backyard. We have a fire pit and we have an above ground swimming pool, but we're going to build a pavilion pretty soon, and then a deck for the swimming pool. And that's all going to be done with lumber that he's built on the sawmill.
Yeah. She's kind of keeping me busy, as you can see.
I can remember sitting on our porch before we moved out here. There were still houses all around us. And I can remember I tried to squint so I couldn't see the houses and I could just see the trees.
Here we are 3 years later of beautiful homes and just having the time of our life.
Now I sit on my front porch early in the morning and have my coffee and just look at the beauty and listen to the birds. And
if you can describe the best vacation spot, it's going to be on our front porch.
Yeah,
So,
I always tell him that we live in our vacation home.